With the birth of psychology, the first thing that we observe is that it was born taking into consideration two fundamental axes: the mental axis and the emotional axis, ignoring another fundamental aspect, which is that of the body. With the advent of the way of Ration thought, and then also that of Lowen and all the others who occupy themselves with psychosomatics, there emerged, on the other hand, the importance of including the body into this model. Not like some kind of object in which the individual lives, but as part of the total reality of the human being.
Some psychological streams, such as Gestalt, bioenergetics, transactional analysis, relational systemic approach, voice dialogue, and other schools and authors, have assumed a different perspective regarding the human being, his psyche and behavior. It is a holistic perspective that recognizes in the human being the capacity to see reality in a holistic way and to act in a holistic manner.
However, an important element is missing. We could call it the axis of consciousness. In holistic thought, consciousness is taken to mean the complete intelligence of the system. And so consciousness is not separated from all the rest. It is consciousness of the body, consciousness of emotions, consciousness of thought. It is therefore a unified field which embraces the total individual.
Modern science has completely lost contact with the soul. What is the soul? The soul is consciousness. The soul is something which makes the human being both a conscious as well as a thinking living being, and not just a mere accumulation of flesh and bones. Nowadays, we are recovering the soul, and even though modern psychology has unfortunately been often anything but a science of the soul, now things are rapidly changing thanks to the rising holistic vision, as the soul is basically a holistic phenomenon.
Consciousness studies in neuroscience have been going on for 20 years now, and according to me, today studies of consciousness are growing worldwide. For me, the most important aspect is the concept of awareness, which means to say entering into contact with ourselves on a global scale, including the body.
The holistic paradigm is based on the idea that there is a self, a personal identity which we are, which is the unit of our identity, which governs the psychic system, the nervous system, and also the endocrine and the immune systems, the four systems which make up the PNEI. These, we could say, are like the hierarchy within which we move, and which then produces the conditions of our health, our diseases, our ability to function, and also malfunction.
Reuniting consciousness to the three neuropsychic maps, we obtain a general psychosomatic map to which we can add the activity of the principal hormones and neuropeptides of the PNEI in a logical and functional manner. The map takes into account, on the one hand, the polarity between the active component, where the sympathetic charge prevails, and the passive, relaxed component of the parasympathetic, and on the other hand, the triple division between the mental cognitive head area, the emotional relational heart area, and the instinctive somatic stomach area. At the center we have the area where the self manifests its reality in a fluid and natural way through different instinctual, emotional, and psychological behaviors mediated by one or more hormones. If the self of the child is not recognized or loved, or if her behavior is inhibited or excessively reinforced, she loses her natural spontaneity and fluidity and becomes progressively more shy. In time, these inhibited or hyperstimulated behaviors become intrinsic, a rigid, structured personality with which the mind identifies itself. Externally, we find pathologies, the extreme consequences of these behaviors, where the central self is no longer active and the person is beside herself, having lost her center and her liberty to choose. This map gives us a real holistic understanding of people, their disturbances, and their psychosomatic paths of healing through a process of personal growth.